Hallöchen, Puppöchen und herzlich willkommen zu diesem neuen Let's Play. Heute spielen wir The Stanley Parable. Ist ein kleines Explorer-Spiel, soll ganz witzig sein und für mich ist es auf jeden Fall jetzt auch erstmal wieder blind. Und ich möchte auch gar nicht viel mehr dazu sagen, weil mehr weiß ich nämlich auch nicht. Deshalb machen wir einfach und beginnen das Spiel. So. End is never the end, is never the end, is loading. Aha. Alles klar. Anscheinend ist das ganze Spiel auch total Brainfuck. Aber mal schauen. Es gibt wohl einen lustigen Erzähler. Also nicht mich. Wir lassen uns mal überraschen. So, es lädt. Und es lädt. Und es lädt. Hey, fertig.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-wrenching, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Ein Fingersuchsystem.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, wir können uns jetzt bewegen. So. Ich weiß gar nicht, ich hätte vielleicht mal gucken sollen, ob man auch Untertitel anstellen kann. Auf jeden Fall, ne, wir sind der Mitarbeiter Nummer 427. Wir sind Stanley. Wir können ein tolles Einfingersuchsystem auf der Tastatur. Und ja, wir sitzen den ganzen Tag hier in diesem Büro. Ganz einsam und allein. Und eines Tages...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Also wir sollen in den Meeting Room. Wo auch immer der ist. Auf jeden Fall, es ist keine Sau da. Wir sind ganz alleine.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
So, das könnte doch schon... Nee, Moment. Nö. Da hinten? Nein. I hate Mondays. Jo, willkommen im Club. So. Ja, dann suchen wir mal den Meeting Room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Das sagst du? Der erzählt hier ein? Ich habe doch immer noch freie Entscheidung. Er sagt, ich soll die Tür links nehmen. Nö, dann nehme ich die Tür rechts natürlich.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Können wir eigentlich hier irgendwie... Nö, anscheinend nicht. Oder? Nö. Wir können keine Türen öffnen, offensichtlich. Hm. Alle zu.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Kaffee. Kaffee!
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Moment mal. Ah, okay, so. Jetzt sollte es für alle einfacher sein.
At this, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Die erste Tür links. Machen wir das? Wollen wir es mal machen, was er sagt?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Ah, oh Gott. Gut, eigentlich sollten wir natürlich geradeaus weitergehen. Hätte ich vielleicht auch mal machen sollen. Aber nein, wir tun natürlich genau das... Ja, das Gegenteil nicht, aber...
He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Okay. Ja,
Oh,
gut.
no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Du verarscht mich doch.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Der verarscht mich doch jetzt. Nur weil ich nicht das gemacht habe, was er gesagt hat.
Right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Ah ja. Hier lang? Okay. Wenn du meinst. Der veräppelt mich doch jetzt. Alter!
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
Nein!
Okay.
Hör auf, mich zu spoilern.
We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding?
Boah,
It's all
Alter.
rubbish now. The whole story
Fired.
completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Na gut. Okay, dann bin ich jetzt artig und mach das, was er sagt.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Ja,
Stanley
ja.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Lalalala. Hier kann man auch nichts aufmachen. Wenn ich
When
versuche.
Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over. Complete, fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I
Nein, ich hab
asking you?
nix
I'm the
gemacht.
one who wrote the story. Was it here just a minute ago? I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come, Stanley, let's find the story.
Ich möchte da rein. Aber ich kann mich ducken. Nehmen wir die hier.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Ey, warum denn? Du hast doch gesagt, ich kann's mir aussuchen. Sack.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
Ja.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Ja.
he had simply missed a memo.
Ja komm, dann gehen wir jetzt den Weg, den ich ursprünglich hätte gehen sollen. Bist du dann zufrieden?
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Der verarscht mich doch.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Aha.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Oh, du bist ein... Hallo? Alter, jetzt wird's gruselig.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Oh, boah, Alter. Okay.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Okay. Kann nichts passieren. Die Tür war aber gerade nicht auf. Da hätte ich gar nicht lang gehen können. Du Sack. Dum, dum, dum.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a
Muss
thought.
natürlich hier
Wouldn't
rumlaufen. Ne?
wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay.
Jo.
Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Jo.
Cut the music, go back and look at
danke.
that fern.
Den Fahren?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Kein Fahren gesehen. Hier steht nur ein komischer Gummibaum. Oh, Alter.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Nein. Ah. Die Uhrzeit verändert sich auch nicht, oder? Ich will nicht nochmal. Da muss doch mal irgendwas kommen.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Jo, meinetwegen gern.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just
ja.
me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything.
Boah,
What do you
das ist so
want our story
spannend.
to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Oh, boah. Ja, der Flur hier ist doch echt, also... Boah. Da krieg ich gar keine Worte
Oh,
für.
no, not you
Jetzt.
again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Die Linie ist doch echt der Hammer. Würde die ja gerne genauso ablaufen.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Ja, mach auf. Boah.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Now, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Sure.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Gott, was war das denn? Der hat zu viel gelabert. Eindeutig. Ja. And it's never the end, it's never the end. The end is loading. Finde ich auch gut, wenn man so liest. Okay. Tja.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ach ja.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Machen wir mal. Hey, der Meeting Room. Der
Yet there
Meeting
was not a
Room.
single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Das ist auch gut. Was Leute wollen. Sachen. Geld. Mehr Geld. Sachen. Mit Geld, um noch mehr Sachen zu kaufen. Was ist da durchgestrichen? Happy Feelings. Mike James, you're fired. Cool. Aber warte, da will ich auch gucken. Fire Paper Guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Wer hat meinen Tisch verrückt? Okay. What are your dreams for the future? Spring Break. Okay, wir gehen weiter. Don't close it. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Gehen wir mal. Der ist natürlich ganz oben. Oh, und hier sieht es natürlich auch wesentlich pompöser aus, ne?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Zufälligerweise, ne? Einfach irgendwelche Zahlen eingegeben. Okay. Oh Gott, oh Gott. Da will ich. Nee, da will ich nicht hin. Oder will ich da hin? Das ist zu gruselig. Nein, da kann man auch nicht hin. Okay, gut. Oh, Gott sei Dank. Ding.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay. Ich würde sagen, an der Stelle hier könnten wir wohl mal ein kleines Päuschen einlegen. Und dann geht's aber auch weiter. Also, bis gleich. So, liebe Leute, weiter geht's mit Stanley Parable. Ich musste das Spiel jetzt leider nochmal von vorne spielen. Aber wir müssten jetzt wieder genau an der gleichen Stelle sein wie vorher. Ich habe auch sämtliche Entscheidungen so getroffen, wie ich es vorher gemacht habe. Ich glaube aber nicht, dass es großartig einen Unterschied gemacht hätte, wenn ich jetzt eine andere Tür jeweils genommen hätte oder so. Aber wir machen jetzt einfach mal weiter. Sind ja hier aus dem Fahrstuhl gekommen. So. Mind Control Facility. Escape. Gehen wir in die Gedankenkontrolle-Fabrik oder flüchten wir? Ich möchte flüchten. Ich möchte flüchten. Müssen natürlich immer...
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh, okay. Egal, das will ich.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nein, ich möchte brutal sterben. Wir gehen weiter.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Der Typ kann einen auch echt verunsichern, ne? Nein, wir laufen weiter. Oder? Ich will sehen, was passiert. Wir laufen weiter. Oder? Ja. Oh Gott. Sind wir jetzt tot?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs.
Ach du Scheiße.
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and short life.
Oh! Alter! Nein!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Was ist jetzt los? Bin ich jetzt tot?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Oh God.
What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Komm, wir spielen eine Runde Solitär. Auch toll. Dann machen wir alles aus, so. Habt ihr jetzt davon? Wieso kann ich da nicht hin? Ich will da hin. Da ist eine riesengroße Stufe. Da können wir natürlich nicht drüber. So. The two doors. Da ist noch ein Computer. Können wir den auch ausmachen? Stanleys Computer. Button Sounds. Okay. So, Office. Ja, um schon mal so leicht zu resümieren, das Spiel ist zwar ganz witzig, so mit dem Kommentator und so, aber was möchte uns das Spiel jetzt genau mitteilen? Was ist der tiefere Sinn? Fünf, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay, gut, passiert nichts. Fängt nochmal bei 15 an. Ja, okay. Hier voll das Museum. How is the game going? I hope it's good or better than the first one. Congratulations. Wow, congratulations. In line with our previous announcement regarding the ongoing promotion, here is the... Ja. Will playing the Stanley Parable help me make friends? I don't have any friends. Ah ja. Okay. Stanleys Office. Voll das Museum hier, wa? Kann sich hier quasi begucken, aus was für Teilen das Spiel besteht. Überall gibt es dann noch netten Text dazu. Ne, wer es programmiert hat und so weiter. Okay. Ja, ist auf jeden Fall interessanter als so ein Credit-Abspann, ne? Countdown Desk. One of the desks from an early version of the countdown ending. Aha. Das ist schon irgendwie... Ich finde das hier ein bisschen gruselig gerade, muss ich ehrlich sagen. Gehen wir hier.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Und jetzt können wir ausmachen, oder was? Super.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time choose.
Klar, ich drücke jetzt den Escape-Knopf. Natürlich. Ich will nicht sehen, was noch passiert. Jetzt möchte ich einen Erfolg, weil ich nicht den Escape-Knopf gedrückt habe. Das ist schon ein bisschen beknackt, oder? Aber ein sehr interessantes Spiel. So, kommt jetzt noch was? Kommt noch was? Ich weiß, ich bin tot und ich bin selbst schuld dran, weil ich den Weg gewählt habe, aber da dürfte jetzt trotzdem noch gerne irgendwas kommen. Es muss mir noch irgendjemand sagen, das Spiel ist jetzt wirklich vorbei. Vorher kann ich es nicht ausmachen. Ne, aber ernsthaft, kommt da jetzt nichts mehr? Da muss doch jetzt irgendwas kommen. Zumindest irgendwie zurück ins Hauptmenü oder so. Oder? Wir warten mal noch einen Moment. Lecker Energy. Ja. Anscheinend kommt tatsächlich nichts mehr. Muss ich jetzt wirklich mal Escape drücken? Das ist doch scheiße. Das Spiel ist jetzt pausiert. Also, offensichtlich kommt da jetzt tatsächlich nichts mehr. Finde ich ein bisschen komisch, aber das ganze Spiel war auch komisch, also von daher passt das natürlich zusammen. Aber das ist, weiß ich nicht. Da fallen mir tatsächlich keine Worte für ein. Weil, wie gesagt, also so zumindest, dass man irgendwie zurück ins Hauptmenü kommt oder so, wäre ja schon, ja, das wäre wohl das Mindeste, oder? Also anstatt einfach schwarzen Bildschirm, Typ ist tot, offensichtlich. Ja. Gut, ich kann ja noch mal eben erzählen, also das Die Alternative wäre gewesen, man geht in diese Mind Factory Fabrik. Was dann genau noch passiert, weiß ich nicht. Auf jeden Fall wird dann noch einmal vom Spiel aus neu gestartet. Dann startet der Erzähler noch zweimal neu und dann irgendwann zum Schluss geht Stanley so oder so drauf. Das wäre so der Rest gewesen. Das ist natürlich jetzt die stark verkürzte Version, aber ja. Gut. Mit schwarzem Bildschirm zum Ende. Und ja. Müssen wir so hinnehmen, würde ich mal sagen. Bedanke mich auf jeden Fall fürs Zugucken. Und ja. Könnt Daumen hoch dalassen oder nicht. Also für mich. Für das Spiel vielleicht nicht unbedingt. Naja, müsst ihr wissen. Könnt aber gerne in den Kommentaren ein bisschen diskutieren, was ihr von dem Spiel haltet. Und ich verabschiede mich an dieser Stelle und sage Winke, Winke, liebe Leute.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.